Welcome to the Kat-Chup. This is a new show. It's very exciting. We're going to be diving into all the things that have caught our eye this week across social media and wider. But today there's a specific focus on social media. And to welcome my sidekick for this one, it's Guru.
I love being the sidekick. I'm really excited about this. I sit back. I don't have to look at anything. I just react to things. It is unreal. Now, you said specific before. Is that similar to the Pacific Ocean?
What do you mean?
Don't get that one?
I don't get Pacific and specific confused.
I think you were close there. No, but I'm actually very, very excited about this show. This is something I've been interested in doing for a long time. Kathmandu has taken the reins, and I fucking love it. I'm super excited because not much slips past you just quietly.
No.
You're like the Adam Gilchrist of social media. Just nothing gets away from you at Keeper.
Well, thanks to creators like Roasty, Cast Patrol, Trademark, all these guys, it's so hard to miss things these days. And I mean, if you're a league player and you do something a little funny, it'll also end up, slow motion and then all over TikTok.
Yeah, and I love too that all the players get involved with this sort of stuff too, all sharing it and whatnot. Saw a lot in Vegas and a heap over the first few weeks. And as the season goes on, whether it be try celebrations, I'm sure throughout the year, Kat, there'll be a lot of players jumping out of cupboards to scare their teammates in hotels and all that sort of stuff. So I cannot wait. We've got some absolute crackers coming today, and a few from Vegas, a few from back home. I'm psyched about this.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very funny. Let's kick it off with something that, I kid you not, had me in tears when I first saw it. And then Josh Mansour also shared it again this morning, to which I cried again. But during the Bulldogs Eels matchup, there was a lovely moment where Bryce Cartwright and Mitch Moses ended up kissing one another. And obviously this has gone viral on social media because they've slowed it down, and you can really see how intimate this moment was.
I'm glad that this has turned into a kissing funny thing, because I'll tell you what, Kat, from my very limited experience playing rugby league very poorly, when you clash faces with someone, it is just about the worst thing that can happen. Teeth, nose, it fucking sucks. And watching that clip, the first few times I watched it, I couldn't look at it because I was like, that hurts my face. But unreal. The timing of it. I also love too that the very first story on the Kat-Chup is posted by Source.
Oh.
Josh Mansour. It is a perfect alignment. Do you like
Wow,
that?
because we were saying that catch-up sounds like ketchup, and the first story is a little saucy, and it was also posted by Source.
Yeah, look, this is not the uncut version. There's no saucy in here. Thank you, Kat.
No.
Let's keep it under wraps, all right?
It's okay. Carty and Mitch did all the sauciness for us.
Did they ever? But yeah, great clip. I thought it was unreal. Slowed down, it put into slow motion, had the music behind it and everything. That is great social media. I'm sure that Bryce Cartwright and Mitchy Moses will be getting a heap of stick in the change rooms today out there at Parramatta in the locker rooms, and so they should. Good gear. I liked it.
Oh, it's so funny. I also like when people can just have a laugh about stuff like this, because there's obviously been some relatively heavy news in the sport in the last week or so. And so something like this, it's just lighthearted. It's fun. It is what it is.
Yeah, I'm all for it. I like that one. That's a good
too.
start. What's next?
Well, my friend Olan Ters, who is a great creator as well, he does a lot in the rugby league space. He's friends with a lot of the guys too, so he gets some of those good stories. He interviewed some of the teams prior to Vegas. And now we brought up Vaega earlier in one of our content pieces, but there's a story about him missing a flight, and I thought this was so funny. So to tell you quickly what happened, the team was heading to New Zealand for one of their matchups with Warriors, obviously, and the bus pulls up. The whole team's on the bus. It pulls up to the airport, and then they all go in to check in. They've got their passports, you name it, and then they realise that Vaega's missing, and they go, "Where is he?" Turns out he was asleep at the back of the bus, and the bus had driven off with him at the back of the bus.
Oh, that is great. That is unreal. What a nightmare that would be.
Oh, my gosh.
Fucking wild that 25 dudes can get off a bus and leave a human being on there. I mean, I guess it's not everyone else's responsibility, but man, I feel like if I was with three friends, I would notice when I got off the bus that we'd left a human on there.
I know. Who's keeping count?
It makes me wonder if the boys knew just quietly.
I think they did. There were comments on Olan's video saying, how did not a single player think to tap him on the shoulder and wake him up? They actually probably wanted to see what would happen.
Shout out to Ters too. He puts out some unreal content. I've seen him do a lot of stuff with Parramatta over the last couple of years. That's been great. Saw him just some Roosters stuff the other day too. You don't see people get inside the Roosters all that often. So I thought that was great. So people on Instagram, Olan Ters.
Yeah, Olan Ters. He we co-host a show together as well. We've known each other for years, and he's from England, and he set a goal to kind of get in and around the rugby league space because he came to Australia and didn't know anything about the sport. And I think he's done a really good job at kind of getting around there and celebrating the sport a little bit. He ended up picking Parramatta as his team, but I think at one point it was either Bulldogs or Para. Souths was never an option apparently, but that's fine.
I actually spent a night with Ters at the Caxton Hotel at Magic Round last year. I'm sure you probably partied with him a little bit more than me, but the boy can party.
He can definitely party, and I have also been designated driver on some of those parties too, because we live very close to each other. So great memories. No, he's a legend.
Probably isn't enough money in the world for me to want to be his designated driver for an evening. My God, you get some chat out of him.
Yeah, you would. He's actually done his Achilles twice now in 12 months. So he's been pretty disabled and needed the help.
By the way, not that I know too much about soccer, or as you call it, football, but he is a big bit of gear. He is an enormous human being. Fuck, he must dominate on the soccer pitch.
Well, he's a centre back, which is, a
centre back, is he?
Yeah, he's a centre back. Doesn't mean anything to you.
No idea.
The equivalent of a front rower, I suppose.
Okay,
like you need the biggest stature. You don't need to be the biggest on the pitch, but definitely the size helps because you're kind of the last man before the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
So if you leak the ball and it ends up in the goalkeeper's hands, it's kind of the centre back's fault. So they also tend to be the captain, or because they can see everything from the back of the pitch. So I'm getting real technical on you guys.
Can I ask you a football question? Are goalkeepers soccer players that just weren't that good at soccer but just like being around?
I think you should ask Matty Ryan about that.
Shout out to Matty Ryan too, friend of the show, lovely fella. Met him out there. He's obviously part of the SC Playbook universe. I was actually walking out of the Parramatta Stadium after a game last year, and I heard Guru, and I turned around and I'm looking and I'm watching him come down the hallway. I go, that's fucking Matty Ryan.
That's wild.
I'm sure that's Matty Ryan. And yeah, listens to the podcast, likes all the content. So shout out to Matty, champion fella.
Yeah, well, I said that because I do know that you know him, and I'm not one to comment on whether or not a goalkeeper is a failed football player. But I mean, you can have a pretty cool career as a goalkeeper too, but it's definitely not a position that I like to play. Too many balls to the face.
It's wow, saucy. It's a bit like wingers in rugby league. They always say that wingers are just guys that hang out with footballers. Shout out to Kempy, one of the great wingers.
Once again, I'm in no position to comment on that. It is what it is.
Nor am I, to be fair, but let's continue.
Look at us. Look at us judging them from our seats. Yeah.
Oh, good.
Well, so the Vaega story is very, very funny, and I think he's got himself a little reputation now as the guy most likely to miss a flight. But speaking of flights, you obviously took a couple to get to Vegas, and I want to talk a bit about your content because, I mean, look, I'm sure everyone watching this can agree you absolutely smashed it with the content. It was hilarious. You had amazing access to these players. You got some really good perspectives on the game. But there was one video in particular, which I'm sad it didn't actually make your feed. I saw it on your story, but turns out your biggest competitor of the week was actually the fire hydrants in the middle of the sidewalks, because you were sidestepping those. I saw some of those numbers from you.
I'll tell you what, Kat, and I will tell you this for free. The next time I'll charge you. It was a shocking week to be a fire hydrant in Las Vegas. They just put them in the middle of the street. I have no idea. They're just right there. Like, if you're in a wheelchair or something, I don't know what you'd do. You'd have to turn around and go back. They're just right in the middle of the street. And there was one day I was walking to the stadium, and I saw one coming, and I thought, oh, you're in trouble. I'm going to give you a Freddie right foot.
I saw one coming, like it was approaching you.
He had a mean look about him. Yeah, I saw one coming and just went, gave me a little right foot. See you later. Thanks for coming. And I then went into the stadium and I was distracted for like 2 hours. Then I came back to my phone and my DMs just fucking blew up. It was my most popular thing I did the entire week, and it never left my Instagram story. And I thought, oh, maybe there's a little bit in this. So as I was walking back from the hotel, one of the 40 fire hydrants I had to step around on the way home, I thought, oh, I'm going to put another one on here. So the big right foot. Look, Kat, the fire hydrant took it pretty poorly. But I'll be honest with you, it's done many before. It's going to do many in the future. You just can't take that sort of stuff to heart, you know?
No. And I feel like you could make a bit of a thing out of this. You know, next year in Vegas, it's you takes on the fire hydrant.
Yeah, it's an age-old battle. Actually, we have a bit of sidestepping practice around the studio here. A lot of cords, a lot of wires. I call Kat Bambi around here. She's always tripping and stumbling, putting left and right foots on.
True that. Little fun fact, I'm extremely clumsy. Coordinated with sport, I'd like to add. Extremely uncoordinated with life.
Yeah, I've seen the Catalina wine mixer actually kick a soccer ball, I should say, for you guys, football for her, and can strike a ball. So, yeah, I tell you, you give very Unco vibes around the studio here, but I know on a sporting field you'd be handy. I remember on like one of Kat's first days, I like tripped over a cord or something, and she's like, oh, we should keep count of how many times we trip. And in my mind, I thought, yeah, okay, Kat, let's do that. I think I'm at about 2. I think Kat's at about 40.
Yeah.
The attendant that was on her scoreboard is working overtime.
Yeah, I'm averaging at least one a day, if not more. Today I felt pretty rough though. I've stumbled a couple of times. I also tend to hit this locker behind me and I'm going to get taken out by that at some point.
That locker takes an absolute beating day to day. Your elbows, they do not miss.
Oh, gosh, I know. Anyway, so keep posted for that. If you see injuries, it's most likely that and not Guru teaching me a lesson. Anyway, we shouldn't joke about that. It's not funny at all.
Yeah, it wasn't great. But anyway, let's move on.
I made the joke, to be fair. All right, now let's jump back into the social media realm. We actually just saw this one maybe an hour ago because Dragons posted it today. It's the best. It is, for those who don't know, it turns out that the Dragons training facility, they've got a parking area for first graders and then a parking area for reserve graders.
Yeah.
And Viliama Fifita, having, debuted, can now park in the first graders area, and they made a big deal about it.
Not only can he park there, I love that Fifita showed up to training and still parked in the reserve graders parking lot.
Him.
And Flanagan got them all together and physically made him go up to the reserve grade car park, get in his car, reverse out, and then drive down through the rest of the team as they beat the car. It was sensational. I love to see that. And it's the sort of stuff that, you know what, it's easy for the Dragons to post social media content like that after they've been winning because everyone gets around it, everyone's happy, everyone's high. I really hope that and I'm not saying the Dragons are going to fall off a cliff, but I wish NRL teams would just get into this stuff.
I agree.
For the entire 30 weeks. Not only, I've spoken about it before with you, Kat. We've spoken about the players wearing like different clothes to games and all that sort of stuff. In 2020, the Broncos did it the first 2 weeks because they were flying. Everyone loved it. It was great. Then they started to lose games and they just went completely into their shell. I just want to see teams go all in on this stuff. If some people are going to give you shit in the comments, I'll give you the hot tip. It's my entire life. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Just keep pushing with content. It'll just provide so much. And I thought this from the Dragons was unreal. I think it also, Kat, gives us another side of Shane Flanagan.
Yeah.
That I probably haven't seen before and haven't appreciated.
Yeah.
You can see how much the players love him there.
Definitely. But the fans love him too because there's a lot of comments on that video saying that the performance has improved on the pitch, but also that their social media has improved a lot too. And I think it says a lot about people wanting to see stuff like that. It adds a personality to the team outside of whether or not they're winning or losing. I think a club that's done quite a good job of that is the Bulldogs. I think they've obviously struggled a lot with results, but I think through their social media and the different personalities that they've got on that side, you've always been able to kind of see a little bit of something else.
Yeah.
And I think that stuff's really important to keeping those fans, I guess, ingrained with what they're doing, but also keeping that relationship going because it is about results, but it's also usually you follow these clubs for your life, right? Like
Oh,
there's ebbs
100%.
and flows and you've got to ride the wave.
Yeah, and I think, and you know, people will get really shitty in the comments, so they don't like when we talk about it, but it is something that America does incredibly well with their sporting personalities and their teams and everything. And I think it is something we need to get better at in Australia, and we are getting better. Day by day, we're getting better, and it's like from where we are now to where we were 3 years ago, it's improved out of sight.
Yeah.
And I think you'll see more and more now, you know, clubs literally just having a videographer walking around every day, recording what's going on, catching everything to put shows together at the end of the year and everything. I just, I think it's heading in a great direction, and people will say, oh, it's an Americanized bullshit thing.
Nah.
It's just the way of the future. It's just the way that it should be. Just because
Yeah.
America did it first
Agreed.
doesn't mean it's a negative thing. It's super exciting.
No, and even speaking from like a soccer perspective too, Liverpool are owned by an American company. They're connected to the Red Sox and everything, but they have taken that approach too with their social media, and you get to know the players a lot better and you start to feel more connected to the club. And when you're that far away from it, that's the only way to build those connections. And so if we want an international audience, you've got to celebrate the personalities as well that are in and around the game. So I think it's so worthwhile. But yeah, no, that was a great video. I love seeing that kind of side of things as well. But speaking of, I guess, social media and the effect that it can have, there's a video that went viral of a Souths fan in Vegas who, I'm sure you've seen it, an older woman. I want to say that respectfully, older woman who was saying something about how great it was being in Vegas, and then a Manly fan popped in behind her and he said, "Go Manly," and then she aggressively told him to shut up and then said to bring back the biff. And I'm sorry, but if you go down to the core of the game, that is as good as social media can get.
100%. Yeah, I thought that was a great scene. I actually lived a very similar thing in Las Vegas. We were walking down the boulevard. I got Ella next to me. She's in a 1974 Manly Seagulls jersey. And just a random guy, I think he was in a Parramatta jersey or T-shirt or something, just walking down the street, minding our own business. He just stopped, looked at our group, and I saw him look at us. I thought, oh, this will be good. And he just leans into Ella. He goes, "I fucking hate Manly." And then he just kept walking. I thought, that's unreal. And it's exactly what played out with this video. Now, Kat, what stood out to me is that this was in Las Vegas. This was out the front of Allegiant Stadium. I believe they actually caught up back in Oz.
I was trying to find that original photo to see who actually linked them. I don't know if it was NRL or one of the clubs that linked them.
Yeah.
But they ended up taking a very cordial photo together and showing that they were in fact able to communicate like normal human beings.
That's unreal. I love that. That's a good story. That's good gear, that one.
I know. It was great. And then one of my mates had the audacity to tell me that would be me in 10 years.
I think it's you now.
Oh, that's
without a doubt. You're a mad South fan. You just have to cop it on the chin and move on.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, I'm all for bringing back the biff, to be fair.
How would you handle getting a bit of heckling like that mid-interview?
Ooh.
Because you told me before you've got a pretty aggressive side.
That's not what I said at all. I actually said that I rarely raise my voice, if ever. I'd like to think I'm pretty cool, calm and collected. And in a moment like that, I think I would respond with my eyes.
Kat, what's one thing I've done around that? Because I'm a pretty messy character. I'm pretty unorganised, which you handle incredibly well.
Are you? Really?
But what's something that I do that's most likely to get a raised voice out of you? Pull back the curtain here.
To be honest, I remember, and you're quite well known for this, I think, is if you bring up something to Guru that he's genuinely not concerned with, he will say to you, "Kat, I don't give a fuck." And that's something that I think if I just happened to bring up something that might actually really be important to me and you were to respond like that, I'd probably just give you the silent treatment for the day.
Oh, the context is all wrong there. I seem like an asshole, but that's fine. I'll wear that. That's sweet.
Yeah, to be fair, it's never about anything super important.
Sometimes Kat will ask me about like a certain person that has nothing to do with me, that's not in my world whatsoever, and I'll just blatantly say, "Kat, I couldn't care fucking less. Sure, they exist. Fine."
Yeah, that's true. But I won't stop asking you about those people.
I'll back it.
Yeah. I think it's also when I bring up any other sport as well, you're like, I don't give a fuck. I am the rugby league guru, and that is it. Speaking of the rugby league guru, Kempy has been impersonating you.
Oh, God, this is good.
I know. So I think it started when you were in Vegas, didn't it?
Yeah, no.
Or just after?
No, I think just before.
Okay.
He did one in the trials where he so Kempy jumps on his Instagram story and he puts what do you call it? A beard filter.
Yeah, it's just a filter with a beard.
Yeah, it's just filtered with a beard, which doesn't do my beard any justice, by the way. But we'll leave that for another day.
It kind of stops very abruptly on
it's
the
very
bottom of the
hurtful.
chin.
But anywho, where Kempy jumped on, and I think the original one was him saying, in this trial, guys, watch jersey 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Could be anything, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Went down to about number 30 in the squad, me saying all of them could be anything. And then in Vegas, just before the game started, Kempy did an absolute cracker. So I'm expecting more of them throughout the year. I think they'll keep coming. But Kempy, just the master, the absolute master of content in rugby league.
It's good gear from him, to use your own language, but you can tell he's spent a lot of time with you, because even like the tone with which he got his voice, I could never do that.
Yeah, it's very good.
Yeah, it's very good. Now, that's kind of the end of our main topics, but I did want to throw back just a moment to you in Vegas. Obviously, we have every intention of reliving that experience next year.
Yeah.
Would you do anything differently, or is there anything that you wish you could do next year to just like elevate your social media presence there?
Honestly, I was very lucky throughout the trip. I had the great Ella Kazma, who came in here and did the Manly Best 17 with us a few weeks ago at a couple of the events that we were at together. So she works for a rival betting agency, which you guys can work out yourself. And it's really interesting. I never realised this, but did you know, Kat, that like you can't be in any betting content if you're not over the age of 25?
I actually did not know that.
Yeah, I didn't realise that was a rule. So
is that a lot to do with because I know when it comes to checking IDs for alcohol consumption, the rule is not if you look 18, you have to look. If you look under 25, they'll check your ID.
Check it, yeah.
I think it's a lot to do with the fact that at 18 you can still look 10 years old.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what the rule is, but anyway, as it turned out, when I was hanging out with like Ella, Cooper Johns, these sort of guys over in Vegas, like Ella, she's 24, I believe. Ella couldn't be in some of like the real nitty gritty sort of betting content. So it was quite often me, like Ella would hold the phone for me and record stuff. And she was unreal, by the way. Fuck, she's a legend, Ella. I absolutely love her.
She's so great.
You know, she went to Hawaii after Vegas with her family.
I saw that.
And over there was like Scotty Bellotti and Nilso and those legends from the punters and dribblers group.
Did they tee that up on purpose, or was it just coincidence?
Just happened to line up. But then her family came home and Ella extended her stay for a few more days from what I've heard. So she's over there partying with Nilso and them.
Is she still in Hawaii?
She's still there, I believe, yeah.
What a life.
Who, shout out to those boys, I know they'll be watching, who rang me the other day because I'm not sure what happened. They were in America and they were trying to join the Roo crew and they rang me drunk. They like FaceTimed me drunk trying to press the button. I think because they were in America, it wasn't working or whatever. So the boys will be in the Roo crew, the great Scotty Bellotti. We might get him to knock up a few guru memes over the next few weeks in there. So make sure you go and join the Roo crew. The link will be in the description of great things going on in there. But yeah, Ella living her best life over there. Where was I going with that story? Ella helped me a lot with filming content. Next year, I've said it a few times, I plan to bring Kat with me because it would be so good to have a second person to hold cameras and do all that sort of stuff, because a lot of it I had to do myself. Hammy helped me with one or two of them, but I think to get like another perspective and to get another pair of hands, Kat, I think we could do so much over there, so much. And even just, you know, nights when I'm, you know, on the beers with people or enjoying myself, just conversations I'm having with people like Tom, Eddie, Ella, Hammy, Roasty, whoever it might be, just to have someone there filming that sort of stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
God, there was some absolute golden moments out on the beers and at the casinos and everything, which I think having a second person to do that sort of stuff would be unreal. I think as well, I missed out on going to the combine. I was a bit sick and sorry that day, and I had to do Supercoach content because that's half my life. But I think going to that next year in some CBA kit would be unreal. But yeah, look, considering I had one person, I don't think I missed too many opportunities over there. But I think with a second and to have someone like Kat that really gets content, even more so than me, to be honest with you, fuck, I reckon we could do some damage over there.
Yeah, I think it'd be a good time. I would be really offended, though, if they said she's definitely old enough to face betting content.
I think we'll get a little taste test of it, Kat, at Magic Round, also known as Caxton Round. Stay tuned for that. Caxton Round coming very soon.
I'm very excited for that. I haven't been to Magic Round.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
A debutante.
I know, but I have been to the Caxton and I have been to Suncorp through the Matilda's Women's World Cup.
Yep.
So I'm expecting something a little different for Magic Round, but all the same, it was such a great experience. I'm very, very, very excited.
Kathmandu, have you been to the upstairs section of the Caxton? You haven't been to the Caxton yet. You like baptism of fire this year. I can't. You going up with a friend or something?
Yeah, my best friend and I. This is actually prior to.
Is this who I met the other day?
Yeah, she came in
fantastic.
the other day. So prior to even working with you, Guru, I'd already booked Magic Round. I knew it was something that I really, really wanted to do this year. So, yeah,
unreal. Have you? It's a big thing when you're at Caxton Round, by the way, Kat. Caxton Round, we're calling it this year. So brace yourself. May or may not be merch coming. I don't know. It's a big thing, just sort of, I've seen with a lot of people, they plan out what they're going to wear on each day as far as this jersey on this day, or maybe like their bloke jersey, maybe a Rabbitohs jersey, maybe a Guru something we need to think about for you just quietly.
Yeah, you're right. Because I do like to plan my outfits a little bit. A bit of a glamour, if I'm honest.
We need to get you some dribbly rugby league kits.
Yeah.
Maybe like a Reg Reagan day, similar to Jairo the other day.
You actually think that I would do that? That would cost you some good money.
If it's for content, why not? Maybe we'll do a GoFundMe to get you to dress up as Reg Reagan one day at the Caxton.
I think I'm actually busy that weekend.
I think I'm doing anything that weekend.
I think I'm just busy.
What's next? What have we got?
Well, we're going to end this episode number 1 of the Catch-Up, with a little Guess Who.
Oh, good. I like this.
Yeah. Now, when you have a name like Guru, you're kind of expected to know everything. Would that be a fair assumption?
Yeah, that's fair. The way that I carry on and be a tit, yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to do a Guess Who, inspired by Trademark Sports, Cast Patrol, all these creators who make these awesome Guess Who kind of games on TikTok and stuff like that. So I'm going to give you, there will be up to 6 clues. Now, you have 1 opportunity to guess. We might give you 2 opportunities should you fail the first time.
It's for cowards. Give me 1, Kat.
But I'm going to give you broader clues and then they'll narrow down. And then you have to essentially guess who this player is.
So is it current NRL players?
Yes, it's a current NRL
player. Okay, sweet.
Yeah. Question number 1, or clue number 1.
Yeah.
I was born in 1992.
No, okay, so my age. So we're looking for a 31-year-old player, a 31-year-old player. Okay, sweet.
I am 195 centimetres tall.
Okay, taller than me like most of the NRL. That doesn't help me all that much. I'm not going to lie. 195 centimetres, okay? Mm-hmm. So a reasonably big bit of gear.
Yeah. He's a big bit of gear.
Okay. 31, 195 centimetres.
I was born in Hastings, New Zealand.
Oh, okay. A Kiwi that's 31. It's 195 centimetres. Okay.
This is really entertaining to watch your brain tick.
Oh, 31's hard. Yeah, okay. How many clues is that? 3?
That's 3.
Okay.
Let's go with I debuted with the Melbourne Storm.
Oh, it's Nelson Asafa Solomona.
It's not.
Fuck! God damn it! Oh, jeez. Okay,
Let's
keep going.
say I played with Melbourne Storm from 2013 to 2017.
2013 to 2017. Okay. So you featured in the 2017 grand final. Oh, you can't tell me that. 2013, 2017. Yeah. What's that? 4 clues?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah. Give me 2 more.
Sorry. I was I'm just reading up.
Was he in the 2017 grand final?
I believe so.
I'm trying to think. Kiwis in the 2017 grand final. On
the 31st of January of 2017. So this may impact.
Oh, I know who it is. Oh, no, it's Tohu Harris, isn't it?
Correct.
God damn it. Oh, that sucks. Can you do me a favour?
Yeah.
Can you look up Nelson Asafa-Solomona? One, tell me how old he is. He's definitely not 31. That was really stupid of me. I think he's younger than that. And can you get me his height too?
Yeah.
God, that sucks. All right, well done, Kat. 1-0. I went a little bit early there. I think I've got to take up more of my clues.
Nelson was born on the 29th of February, 1996.
Oh, my God.
I know. He's big bit of gear for 28 years old.
I
And he
missed
was
by a
born
lot.
in Wellington, New Zealand.
Yeah, that was never going to help me. I'm not going to
Yeah.
lie. What's his height, Nas? What is he like, 203 or 4?
2 meters.
2 meters. Okay, so it's only off
Yeah.
by 5 centimetres. Still, that's quite a bit, to be fair, when you're talking human beings. Okay.
Yeah.
Cat 1, Guru 0. We're going to have to keep track of this throughout the year just quietly. 1 zip, Toy Harris.
I think this could end up being a little bit like the trip tally, though, and that the first day is never a good
You've
indication.
gone out to an early start, which is ominous.
Yeah, I needed it.
Oh, God, that's annoying. It was only last week we were talking about Toy Harris on Bloke, and we said, 33, 34, and Maddie went, he's 31, and we
Yeah.
went, oh, my God.
Well,
no
his birthday
way.
was 7th of January, so he's actually just 32.
Just turned 32.
Yeah,
Can you
just-
believe I'm 32 this year, Kat?
I'm not going to mention my age.
What he's doing. You're younger than me. You're
Yeah,
a
that's all
pup.
that's all that matters.
You got plenty ahead of you. Don't worry about that. Scary. All right. Episode 1 of the Catch-Up. I
Yeah.
absolutely love that. Catching up on all social media, having a little bit of trivia in the back end. This will be, assuming all goes to plan every week, this will be an every Tuesday night, Cat.
Yep.
We'll
I think
drop this, I
we'll do.
think.
Well, we know that Team List Tuesday is the priority for everyone,
Yeah.
so we'll drop that off. We'll drop this after Team List Tuesday so that everybody can sort out their biggest questions around TLT, and then they can enjoy something a bit more lighthearted and just catch up with what's happening in the social media world.
Yeah, so I think generally we'll have Teamless Tuesday. Obviously, they go live at 4. We'll do a bit of research. We'll then record probably a 20-minute show there or so. So I think we can aim to have that up by 5:30ish.
Yep, I think so.
think
And
that's
also,
fair.
because this is the catch up, if you come across any funny stories, anything on social media, flick it to Guru or myself on social media. Tell us what's happening, what you want us to talk about. And a lot of this stuff, because to your point, Guru, I tend to notice this stuff and see it when I'm scrolling through social media. I think you have a lot more stuff going on, so you tend to miss some of this. And so I'd love for you to react to these things for the first time during the episode. So please feel free to send stuff through to us.
Yeah, I'd love to get some live reactions of stuff that you guys find. Send them through to Kat. And obviously the Catch Up, if there's any tomato sauce sponsors out there, please reach out. We're interested.
Heinz.
Nico.
We can have the Nico Hines segment.
Nico Hines segment. That's good gear.
Love it.
All right, Kat. Thank you. That was unreal. I thoroughly enjoyed that.
Yeah, that was really fun. Thank you so much for joining us for episode 1. And like we said, send us any fun clips that you've got and we will see you next week for the catch up.